On THV 11 Plus. Simone Thomas will be along a little bit later in the afternoon as we're keeping a close eye on the weather. In case you didn't know, we have a pretty good risk or threat of some strong to severe thunderstorms in Arkansas. Already seeing that happen in parts of north central Arkansas this afternoon. But let me just kind of give you what's going on. We got a strong front that's moving into an air mass that is destabilizing. If you haven't been outside, it's very warm and humid. It kind of reminds you of a severe weather day. Now, the parameters are all there for a chance of strong to severe weather, and that's why there's an enhanced risk. It covers up most of Arkansas. The greatest threat of, say, tornadoes this afternoon, as you'll see in just a moment, will be over parts of northeast, east, and even a portion of central Arkansas. So things are there. Large hail, 2-inch hailstones in diameter and larger are also possible later this afternoon. So it's a good idea to make sure that you have your safe place ready to go. You've got something to put over your head. You've got your important papers and medication, and make sure your devices are charged up. Now, we've got NCAA basketball occurring on THV 11. If we have to break in for tornado warnings, we'll try to keep it as brief as possible. But in all fairness, if it's life-threatening, we'll stay with it, especially for the Little Rock metro area. Looking at a big cell that has fired up in the last 20 minutes over northern Arkansas that's impacting the Harrison area. We've got a weather impact alert for the rest of the day. The timing of the storms around 4 o'clock this afternoon in central Arkansas through early tomorrow morning. They are beginning to develop along that frontal boundary. I'll show you all that here in a moment. They'll be strong to severe. All modes of severe weather are possible. In fact, we could have tornadoes as strong as EF2 tornadoes. There could be some hail diameter 2 inches and above. We could see some areas of localized heavy rainfall. We need the rain. We don't really want the flash flooding, and that's a story on down the road for later in the week. But when you've got the potential for all those things, you hope it doesn't happen, but it is spring season, severe weather season here in Arkansas. So let's go ahead and run this by you once again. Make sure you stay informed. You've got many different ways. You're joining us on THV 11 Plus, and here's a little secret for you. If you have our app, you can watch live. Just hit the watch live. Whenever there's severe weather in your location, hit watch live, and you'll be able to pick us up on your phone, on your iPad, or your other device. Have many different ways to receive severe weather information, and since some of this is going to occur at night, it's a good idea to make sure you're prepared. All right, so that's what we have going on, the weather impact alert. There are no watches yet, but I fully anticipate the Storms Prediction Center, along with the National Weather Service, are going to issue a watch very shortly. They did put out this mesoscale discussion for north central Arkansas and southern Missouri, where a tornado watch is likely to be issued. Again, it's because of the convection that is developing in northern Arkansas this afternoon. So keep an eye on that. In fact, I'm going to check one more time real quick to see if anything new has been stated about that. And the SPC, a tornado watch, will be coming for the northern half of the state shortly. That was at 2:31. So here in just a few minutes, we're going to see the northern half of Arkansas with a tornado watch. Let's talk about what's happening on radar. Notice not much going on here. The atmosphere above Little Rock is what we call capped. There's a layer of warm air aloft. And when that cap erodes, as that boundary moves in, we will see thunderstorms develop. Will it be widespread? That remains to be seen, because most of our high resolution forecast data has been picking up just a few spotty storms here and there, primarily north of Little Rock until sunset. And then after sunset, a line could develop somewhere around central and eastern Arkansas. In the short term, though, it's going to be a tornado watch that will be issued for the northern half of the state. That from the National Weather Service. We'll just wait for that to come down. But let's take you to that cell in north central Arkansas. That is severe warned right now till 3 o'clock. For Boone County, and that now looks like it's going to extend over into Marion County. And we can take a little bit of a closer inspection. Why do we have the warning on this cell? It's for large hail. Perry, if you wouldn't mind taking us to Storm Track 11, I will show you this hail parameter that we have. And what we're seeing is at least 1 to 1 1/4 inch hail over and near the Harrison area. So that's the only warning that we have. Between Harrison and Bergman, Arkansas, that's in northern Arkansas, we could be looking at the potential for some very large hail with that thunderstorm. Back to Max 1 we go. Madison County also looking at some activity developing there. Not severe yet, but will more than likely become severe here shortly. All right, and the watch was just issued The boss is watching this afternoon, so the tornado watch has now been issued for the northern half of the state. We'll get you that here in just a moment. As soon as my graphics catch up with that, that is going to be in effect. And I don't have a time on it just yet, but that just tells you that things are now beginning to evolve and unfold. If you want to hit me with that time, Shayla, that'd be great. Northern half of the state tornado watch this evening. So we are going to have to keep an eye on things, and we may have to break into our programming on THV, but we will be streaming this afternoon. If warnings do occur and you're joining us right here on Facebook and YouTube and THV 11 Plus, I will stream those warnings and we'll take you down to street level and make sure that you are safe and ready to go. It's funny. She heard me. All right, here we go. Thank you. She was helping me out. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. 11 o'clock tonight. Tornado watch is in effect. Visible satellite. The atmosphere has been destabilizing this afternoon. You know, when we talk about severe weather parameters and we say, you know, it wouldn't be such a great thing if the sun came out. Well, the sun is certainly coming out. The cloud cover is beginning to depart. The cap is eroding, and that is usually not a good thing. I do want to point out one little feature. The frontal boundary extending from northeast Texas through southeast Oklahoma looks like it has bypassed the Fort Smith area, so it's somewhere in northwest Arkansas. Storms will line up along and ahead of that frontal boundary this afternoon and this evening. And we got a lot to work with. And looking back, we've talked about how we would have plenty of instability. We've got just enough wind shear, probably enough for large hail formation, but we could see one or two tornadoes this afternoon. We're certainly not going to rule it out, but look at the numbers here at 2:36 this afternoon. Conway is at 84 degrees. Little Rock is at 81, Texarkana at 90. So we've got plenty of cape. We've got plenty of energy for those storms. Now let's talk about the risk of severe weather. Anytime we have a level 3 or higher, you're going to get a weather impact alert. And this is covering up really the eastern half, if not a little bit more of the state, going all the way back Mena up to Mountain Home and Harrison. Of course, we've got a storm up there we're keeping an eye on, but most of Arkansas is within that enhanced risk. And it's for good reason, because the parameters are there. Now, the severe outlook for the rest of the afternoon shapes up like this. I will say that this morning, the Storms Prediction Center, who's responsible for these outlooks, did nudge our tornado threat a little farther to the west. That includes central Arkansas. And when you see the hatched area, there's a pretty good chance that we could see a strong tornado. A strong tornado is defined as an EF2 tornado or stronger within that hatched area within 25 miles of a point. But I think the greater threat is going to be hail that could be 2 inches in diameter or larger. Winds 60 plus miles per hour, up to 80 plus miles per hour in the dashed area. That may have changed just a little here in the last few, but again, hail and possibility of seeing a tornado. Here are the impacts, and when we talk about the impacts, the risk, the threat, you're in the medium category when it comes to damaging wind gusts, golf ball to tennis ball sized hail, and even that potential for a tornado. Again, eastern half of the state, north central, northeast Arkansas with the greatest potential for a supercell thunderstorm producing large hail and possibly a tornado. One of the indicators that we look at, the lightning. We can tell just how strong a storm is by looking at the lightning. This is a future lightning model that we have from the European, and this is by 2:30. And I think it's a little overdone here in western and northwestern Arkansas. There could still be a fairly strong cap in place, and so we're not really seeing that. But as we head through time, you can see the more intense lightning begins to show up over north central and then eventually northeast Arkansas. So we'll know that we've got some pretty strong storms this afternoon into tonight as this weather system moves across the state. Again, it's a cold front. The area of low pressure that's attached to the front is well to the north of Arkansas. I wouldn't be surprised if southern Arkansas just saw some strong storms, but the farther north in Arkansas you head, we've got those overlapping parameters where you've got plenty of moisture, lift, instability, and wind shear. That's where you're going to find the greatest potential of seeing a severe thunderstorm that could produce a tornado. So that's the lightning. And then we'll see this probably for a good part of the night into tomorrow morning. So Tracy Bean will be in early tomorrow morning. Simone will ride through the nighttime hours just to make sure that you are safe. Storm fuel, plenty of it, no question. Plenty of CAPE, convective available potential energy. We got lots of it. And until that boundary moves through, we'll keep the CAPE. When does this frontal boundary move through? It looks as if it's going to be sometime around midnight in central Arkansas. If not a little thereafter, we'll begin to see things settle down here. This is by 2 a.m. So southern and southeastern Arkansas will still have the potential for a strong thunderstorm well after 2 o'clock in the morning, more than likely around 5, 6 in the morning. Now, the tornado risk, when you take all of the tornado parameters that we have along with radar, this gives you an idea of where things are lining up. Right now, the best parameter for tornadoes is over eastern Arkansas. But our high-resolution models keep pinpointing that the northwest and north central areas will have the greatest chance of having a strong thunderstorm through the afternoon hours. But let's see how things shape up as we head through the late afternoon into the nighttime hours. Notice that the tornado parameter pretty much is non-existent over western and central Arkansas by 4 o'clock. Now, that's according to just one model. That might be a little bit different, though. Northeast Arkansas holds on to that parameter through the afternoon into the evening hours, and then we see it back up a little bit over toward eastern Arkansas near the Memphis area. Storms could begin to line up by 9 o'clock tonight over central Arkansas. We'll have to keep an eye on these for large and damaging hail, possibly some straight line wind gusts, and I wouldn't be surprised if we had a tornado warning out of this. This lines up with the frontal boundary as it moves through the region. That front should make it all the way through the state later on tonight into tomorrow morning and kind of back up on us toward the middle part of the week, which brings forth yet another possibility of strong to severe weather in Arkansas. That's the risk. But the other greater thing that we're keeping an eye on in terms of the greatest risk of hail will be over north central Arkansas. These colors will indicate, well, first of all, you got a lot of purple out there. So yeah, 2-inch hail in the purple area. But we've got an area of orange that could indicate some hail that could be larger than 2 inches in diameter for places like Harrison, Clinton, Mountain Home, Batesville, Jonesboro. Again, these are only model projections, but they're indicating that some significant severe weather could happen in these areas. National Weather Service has just kicked off something. Let me see if they're a report of 1-inch hail up near Hopewell in Boone County, Arkansas. So yeah, 1-inch hail, but the potential is there for 2-inch hail or larger in northern Arkansas. As we head through the afternoon and evening hours, we are going to see the potential for hail begin to wind on down. It looks like southeast Arkansas will have it through the late night and early morning hours, and finally we'll see the system kick out of the way. Future radar, and this is going to adjust a little bit, and it's been spot on. This is our high resolution model. I'm going to stick with this one instead of the graph for right now. We've got two because it is indicating, not perfectly, but it's indicating that the cells are developing northwest Arkansas and north central Arkansas. In fact, they have initiated. As we head through time, this is by 3 o'clock. If one cell develops and roams across north central Arkansas, Van Buren County into Cleburne and Independence County, not only a hail producer, but is close enough to the parameter where we may see a tornado warned storm. Notice, these are going to be scattered. It does not look like right now that it's anything widespread, but we begin to see those storms line up along that front as we head into the late night hours. So it's important to have ways to receive severe weather information. That activity begins to wane on down by early tomorrow morning. Some cooler, some drier conditions for most of your Monday and Tuesday. And then we get to turn our attention to what's happening for the middle to latter part of the week. Storm timeline once again. We try to gauge this by when storms could develop and when they're expected to be out of here because of the frontal position. So northwest Arkansas between 4 and 9 o'clock. Now there have been some storms that have developed over northern Arkansas between 2 and 11. So around 2 o'clock today, we saw that severe warned cell up toward the Harrison area. For eastern Arkansas between 5 o'clock and 2 in the morning. So there's a good part of the day, lots of daytime heating. We've got low-level winds. We've got some wind shear aloft. And yeah, lots of fuel there for those thunderstorms to work with. It's going to be an interesting afternoon, to say the least, along with the fact that we've got March Madness of our very own on THV 11. Then let's talk a little bit about what's going to be happening as we turn our attention to next week. Now, this is for our Wednesday and Thursday timeline. Wednesday, we have an enhanced risk, a level 3 out of 5. We've already put forth a weather impact alert for Wednesday. And there's also a chance of severe weather on Thursday, a slight risk that too might get bumped up. It does look like it's shaping up to be a very active week here in Arkansas. We could have severe thunderstorms. We could have flooding rains. We went through basically a very dry March, and now toward the end of March, we're beginning to see things come together where we could end March with more precipitation and more likelihood of severe weather. March 31st is Tuesday. March 31st is Tuesday. 2 years ago, March 31st, we had a big tornado that moved through Little Rock in central Arkansas. All right, so with that in mind, I did want to show the extended forecast and I don't know what happened to it. I guess it left me. That's fine. I'm going to take us back up to this watch and see if it's been updated just yet. But right as we came on, the Storms Prediction Center and the National Weather Service placed us under a tornado watch for the northern part of the state. And that is going to last us until 11 o'clock tonight. Let me go back to this graphic just to pull up here. So there we go. That's what's going on now. Things are beginning to evolve. Again, a severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for Boone and Marion County in northern Arkansas right now, and it's well within that tornado watch area. Let's go back to Storm Track 11, Mr. Perry. Let's take a look at this cell for those of you that may be watching us from North Arkansas. Could be a big hail producer. We've had a report of at least 1-inch hail out of this. There's a little well, let's see if I can get that guideline. I guess I can't show you, but that orange area would indicate 1.25 to 1.5 inch hail occurring near or to the east of Harrison between, let's say, Bergman and Piatt, Arkansas. That's where the cell is, moving to the northeast. That's it right now. That's good. Let's hope it stays that way. Let's hope that what little of the cap that we have remaining in the atmosphere, let's hope that hat stays on. Because once we head through the afternoon and evening hours, we may see more strong storms develop in this proximity. Newton County, you've got a cell developing there, as well as in northern, or I should say, Carroll County, that's southeast of Berryville. Storms have really started to ignite in that part of the state. And that's the part of the state, once again, that we have the tornado watch that's in effect until 11 o'clock tonight. And if we want to, we can go back to live radar. I do want to show you once again, those northern couple of 3 rows of counties have the best likelihood right now of having strong to severe weather in Arkansas. Again, this is a situation where everything is in place. We've got the ingredients. We need that trigger, that frontal boundary to plow into it, and it will eventually. We may not see much here in central Arkansas until late in the evening. Fingers crossed that it can happen. If it does happen, that it happens after 6 o'clock tonight, as not to interrupt basketball that's on THV 11. But if we get tornado warnings, we will go ahead and we will break in. I think Perry had something I do want to show. You know, having your safe place ready to go, let's just remind folks the best places to go in their home for tornado warnings. Perry, I think you had that up just a moment ago. And here you go, have a severe weather plan. Make sure that you've got the safe place. You've got something to put over your head, whether it's a bike helmet. Some people use pots and pans. This is the time of year when we head into severe weather season here in Arkansas, you just want to have that place ready, just so that you can just jump in and be safe. It's the lowest level of your home. Put as many walls between you and the outside as you possibly can. And, if you got a centralized bathroom, if you have one of those old cast iron bathtubs that's in a centralized area of your home, that's great too. That's where lots of folks my age hid out when we were growing up. When we had tornado warnings, they put a mattress over us and we'd ride out the tornado warnings for the area. Be prepared. Make sure your phones and devices are charged up. Flashlights, helmets, medication, and important papers, insurance papers. Make sure you have all of that stuff with you. Be informed. You can follow us on THV 11 Plus, and you can follow us on THV11.com. And what you can do if you don't have Plus on your TV, but you have us on your app, just hit Watch Live like you can right now. We're on your phone right now. We will be streaming live if we have severe weather warnings throughout the afternoon and evening hours here on THV 11 Plus. Also on YouTube and Facebook Live. I'll take it to live, just to all platforms to make sure that you have the necessary information that you need to have. Looks like, let me go back to this tornado watch just to make sure that, Faulkner County, just north of Little Rock, Faulkner County, White County, Perry, Yell County, Conway County, Woodruff County, those counties that are around the Little Rock metro area, you're under a tornado watch until 11 o'clock tonight. Now, that doesn't mean that more of central Arkansas will not be added. I fully expect that we'll see more counties added to this watch as these storms begin to initiate and the coverage of those storms is better determined. But right now, most of the action and most of the parameter that we need for tornado development is over the northern half of the state. Thank you for hanging out with me today on THV 11 Plus. Once again, we'll be here. We have tornado warnings this afternoon. Heck, if I see a severe thunderstorm and it starts to rotate, we may break in just to give you a little more of a heads up. YouTube, Facebook, THV 11, the app. You can also Download the app on your phone, but it's a real easy download to your TV. If you've got Roku, if you've got Amazon Prime, or if you have access to those, download those or the THV 11 Plus app straight to your TV from those devices, Apple TV, and stay safe here in Arkansas this afternoon. All right, folks, thank you for hanging out. We'll keep an eye on things for you, and have a great afternoon. We'll be here for you.